You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Get to rugby union now, our national sport and our wonderful shield, the Ranfurly Shield. Tonight, 7:05, McLean Park in Napier. The challengers are the undefeated Tasman Mako.
Gray just goes through, and the simplest of tries as the Tasman Makos now celebrate what will be a victory, even though we have 17 minutes remaining. They've turned the screws.
Somebody's O has got to go. Both teams undefeated so far. And we're now joined by Mako head coach Gray Cornelius. Gray, welcome to the program. Two undefeated teams, as they say in that fight sport. The O has got to go, well, someone's does. What an event with the shield on the line, huh?
Yeah, exciting stuff, and looking forward to it. Boys can't wait.
When you look at the matchups between the two sides, as I said, 5-5, 4-4, so teams are doing particularly well. But you look at the defensive record of the Mako, you'd suggest that that's probably where you have an advantage. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I think they're a pretty well balanced team all around. But we're pretty happy with the way our defence is going, and that's a big part of the game for us. And hopefully we can pull out another good defensive performance tonight.
What have you focused on in the build-up to this fixture? You do your standard things, right, doing your core roles and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Whereas here, was there anything else, Gray, that you've really looked at in depth so far in the build-up to this fixture?
Oh, no, I think you're right. I think we've just sort of made sure we've concentrated on what wins your rugby games, So obviously we've already mentioned the defence, but, our set piece is going to be really important against a pretty handy team. And I think we've kind of also addressed the elephant in the room, the Ranfurly Shield, and the opportunity for us to create a little bit of history, and we've acknowledged that, and we're pretty excited about it. But we know that, it's going to be pretty tough work.
I'm always fascinated by that. I've been in this job way too long, but every time the Ranfurly Shield comes up, the discussion is it NPC points? Is it a shield? One's the result of the other. Do you talk about it? Do you not? And it differs from team to team. So how did you approach said elephant, Gray?
There's no beating around the bush. We've never won the Shield in our history. So I guess what we've tried to do is we've tried to build a bit of excitement around it, and but particularly at the start of the week, but knowing that ultimately that excitement doesn't win you the line-out ball or doesn't tackle. So you've still got to nail the fundamentals of the game, but. Look, it's a unique opportunity for a lot of fellas, so you can't sort of shy away from it. You just got to, it's exciting, can't wait.
Is it a group attitude, or do you look to each individual player? Because each player is going to breathe with different air when it comes to something like this. They're going to be super excited and apply, or they're going to push it into the background and just get around their business. Do you look at isolating each player in a build-up to that, or is that just too difficult, Gray?
It's probably an element that's difficult, but I guess working with guys day in, day out, you get to know players and what pushes their buttons, so to speak, and we know that there are certain guys who respond differently. I guess that's the art of coaching a wee bit. So there is a bit of that. Some guys play best when they're relaxed, whereas other boys need a bit of an edge or a bit of a prod. So. That's pretty similar with every game, whether we're playing for the Shield or not. So getting that balance right is important in any match, I think.
Gray Cornelius joins us, head coach of Mako, ahead of the Shield Challenge this evening. You had fun against another Bay last weekend, playing, as I said before, unbeaten. Can you draw anything from that exchange that you need to inflate or deflate if they weren't so good?
Yeah, well, it was an unusual game, that one. We were all set to go, and then a massive thunderstorm hit and power cut, and it absolutely chucked it down. So that was probably about 10, 15 minutes before kickoff. So the kickoff was delayed, and I was really proud of how we handled that wee bit of adversity. And I think that that was reflected in our start in that first 20 minutes, and we managed to get up over the Bay, who probably struggled to come back after that. So. Look, the conditions were pretty horrendous, and we adapted well, but whole different beast this weekend. I think it's forecast to be 21 degrees tonight or whatever it might be, and so it certainly won't be thunderstorms like we had last week.
Well, you can't control the weather, can you? It's just dealing with whatever's put in front of you, and you've got to be happy about that. It's like, okay, refocus, here's the whistle, go, nothing has changed, you're just 15 minutes out. So to be able to apply that to your team, knowing they've got the headspace to get on with it, give you a huge amount of strength as a coach, knowing what they're capable of.
Yeah, it is, man, and that's what you want. You know, the boys pretty much handled it on their own, and the leaders stood up and took control of that situation, which is, as you say, as a coach, you want your players to be able to do that. So that was good to see.
The nature of travelling is always key in the MPC, shield or no shield. Gray, you guys have had success home and away. What have you done in order to secure that? Does it make any difference where you are?
Oh, we love being at home. That's probably no different to any other team in the competition. I guess we're slightly unique, given that we also play games in Blenheim and Nelson. So home game does incorporate a bit of travel as well. And given our geography, you know, when all our pre-seasons are away and long road trips. So I think the lads get pretty used to being on the road, and you know, that's something you got to embrace. And the boys enjoy, get around each other and play cards and have a bit of fun with it. So it's just how it is, and no biggie.
Oh, that's good. It's good to hear. You just take it in your stride and carry on going. Hey, how's the sick bay looking? You've had 4 games. Are there many guys piled up in the corner, covered in Band-Aids? Have you got through? Because plainly, having a fit squad and minimal changes throughout the season is key, like in any league structure, to actually winning these things, the consistency of selection. So how are we looking there?
Yeah, look, we've got a few bangs and bumps, and had a bit of illness through our camp last week. Hopefully that's all done and dusted. But look, like I say, we're no different to any other team. I think we sort of get to this almost at the midway point of this competition, and I don't think there'll be anybody that's gone unscathed. So it really tests your depth, and it gives opportunities for in our situation. I know it's the same in other teams, for young fellas particularly who have shown their wares through club rugby and stuff. They have opportunities, and we get a real kick out of seeing some of these young guys get opportunities and show us what they've got. So there'll be a couple more out there tonight, hopefully getting the crack and showing their wares as well.
Most coaches don't like to blow smoke up any players' backsides or indeed pillory them in public, but I'll ask anyway, who have you liked so far this season? I won't ask you to rip into one of your players because that's entirely unfair. but a Mako that you've enjoyed, who do you reckon's really stood up and represented the Finn?
On the field, I think it's been great having Willie Havili back. Like, Willie was away with Tonga at the World Cup last year, and so he's really matured over the last couple of seasons since he was last with us. So it's great having him back, and he's taken on the reins and he's doing good things. And and we've had a few guys come back from the World Cup last year and who've come back into our environment and fitted in seamlessly. So Willie's one, obviously. Jim, I'd call him Jim Tavatavanawai. He's a bit of a weapon for us as well. So he's been doing good things. But I don't really, as you say, mate, I'm not real keen on signaling too many people out.
And on that, we'll let you go. Just carry this on your shoulders when you're out there. Our producer, Andy McDonald, is a good Tasman boy. He's very keen to see you guys do well. So do it for the producer, will you?
Oh, we'll be doing it for a few people in our community, and it's going to be a tough ask, but looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for your time. And there you go. There's all the love in the world for you, Andy McDonald. It's nice to be able to represent your home.
Fins up.
Is it a town or a city?
It's a city, mate.
It is a city. What is the cut-off point for city? What, 50,000, 40,000? I actually don't know.
One day the Queen said it was, I think. So.
Okay, if the Queen said it, it's definitely a city. And the city of Nelson, it is Ranfurly Shield tonight, 7:05 coming up next. We're going to go to Grace opposite. His name is Brock James. He's the Hawke's Bay coach. That's coming up next here on News Talk ZB.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.